Hi, my name is Sanjana,
And my name is Sandhya.
and we are going to walk you through our WoAA Pals training today. WoAA Pals is a new initiative run by National WoAA to connect high schoolers interested in the aerospace industry or STEM in general with WoAA members. Its goal is to educate these high school students about the resources available to them in the field and the path that we took to get where we are today. I know I could have benefited from talking to an aerospace engineer in the field or at university who looked like me.
Now we're going to lay out the basic expectations for you as the WoA members while participating in this program. The first and most important requirement is that you contact your pen pal either via email or letter at least once a month. Of course, you can contact them more than that, but once a month is the bare minimum. To help you remember to reach out, we will send out monthly newsletters that will not just serve as reminders, but will also contain some themes that you can talk to your WoA pals about. Of course, we expect that you take the initiative to reach out to your pals, as nothing could be worse than to ghost high school students who look up to you. But if despite all your best efforts your pal doesn't respond, we have two feedback forms that you may fill out. One is always available at the link in the quiz and will be sent out in the monthly newsletters. This one can be filled out anonymously whenever you have a comment or question or concern, and the other is going to be sent out at the end of each semester.
Code of Conduct. So these are our zero tolerance policies. If you fail to adhere to any of these guidelines, you will be removed from the program. So first, never use inappropriate language in your correspondence with your WoA pal. So no swear words, disrespectful phrases, racist slurs, etc. Also, do not make any inappropriate comments about your WoA pal that might make them uncomfortable. Alright, never bring up sex, drugs, alcohol, or any other illegal substance use. Third, never bring up your own stances on religion or politics. These are not work appropriate topics, so it's best not to bring them up at all. Finally, do not make plans to meet your WoA pal without a chaperone, and that means a parent or legal guardian, in person while you're involved with the WoA Pals program. So, for example, if you or your WoA pal is doing a college visit or something, they must be accompanied by their chaperone. Alright, so our discouraged behavior for this code of conduct is you need to stray from bringing up traumatic or triggering topics such as rape, abuse, etc. You want to make this correspondence a positive experience for them. Try not to bring up your own opinions or experiences with gender, sexuality, racism, etc., unless your WoA pal is comfortable talking about these topics. If you disagree with their beliefs, do not enforce your own beliefs or opinions. Instead, try to be supportive of where they come from. The only exception to this is if your WoA pal is being straight up disrespectful or offensive, in which case you should report that to us immediately. Alright, finally, social media. If your platform is professional or work appropriate, then it's fine to connect. But if there's even one inappropriate post for a minor, just do not share it with them. Just as a spectrum, what's okay would be LinkedIn for sure, and to what's not okay is Snapchat. So if you lie in the middle, so like as long as your Instagram is professional, it's fine to share it. If not, just don't even bother. And lastly, try not to vent about your non-academic problems to your pal, especially those related to like your relationship, your family, or your friends. However, if you want to bring up how you learned from a personal situation or they need advice on something related to an academic or professional experience, then that's okay. But remember, you're here to give them advice on aerospace and how STEM is at the university level, and they're not here to listen to your problems. Anyone can be removed from the WoA Pals program at the discretion of the program's managers or the student's teachers. So we just want to maintain that. So we definitely need to avoid inappropriate conversation topics on our end as WoA members. But if your WoA pal brings up something that's either inappropriate, like one of the topics above, or concerning, such as suicidal tendencies or abuse, what do? Well, firstly note that in our statements to our students and teachers involved in this program, we are crystal clear that we are not tolerating any inappropriate conversation from a student's end, or they will be removed from the program. We are also sending a disclaimer to them that in the hopefully non-existent case that a student reports something to their pal that needs to be reported, We have to follow guidelines that their high school teachers or counselors adhere to, as well as AIAA's legal team, and we will report it accordingly. Again, that is something that would fall to us, so if they report anything concerning, reach out to us and we will help. Also, we're attaching a community guidelines code of conduct resource with some FAQs to this email. So if you're ever confused, you may always read through that. But if you're ever on the fence about something making you uncomfortable that your WoAA pal said to you, or whether something is inappropriate, just don't hesitate to ask us because we will help figure it out. And finally, note that the students are only involved in our program after their parent or legal guardian fills out the consent form. So they're well aware of the consequences of any inappropriate correspondence. And you will most likely never have to deal with these situations. But we just need to be prepared on our end so that we can work with these schools and build their trust in WoAA and WoAA pals.
The final point that we must stress is that you all should just strive to be good pen pals. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's take a look at a few scenarios that might come up. 1. You should always aim to provide unbiased advice. Scenario: computer science or nothing.
Hey Sandhya, I really don't like my AP Computer Science class, but I'm not sure if I should take class in it anyway in college because I've heard that I won't get a job as an aerospace engineer without having great software skills.
Well, I have a computer science minor, and it's just an awesome subject. Unfortunately, though, you're right. In my experience, I've seen that taking more computer classes is a must, especially to succeed in this industry. Not just the aerospace industry, but every industry's future is going to need people with great programming skills. You should just tough it out, and then you'll see that it's worth it.
This scenario is bad because Sandhya uses her biased experience to push the student into pursuing a subject that they're clearly not passionate about and are even struggling in. Let's see how it could be handled differently. I've heard that I won't get a job as an aerospace engineer if I don't have great software skills.
Well, Sanjana, I personally really enjoy computer science, but I know that it's not necessarily for everyone. I have colleagues who have gotten great jobs that they enjoy without getting super into computer science. At my school, we are required to take one computer science class, but other than that, nobody expects you to take more. You should always pursue subjects that you are passionate about, and you'll find success anyway. In fact, I have one friend who currently has a job in the aerospace industry that does not explicitly involve programming, and she loves it. Do you want me to connect you to her so that you can have a more well-rounded perspective?
This scenario is a lot better because even though Sandhya enjoys computer science a lot, she doesn't pressure her student into taking more classes in it. Furthermore, she redirects her pen pal to her colleague who might be able to give her pen pal more advice about an alternate career path.
Scenario: study abroad program experience. So Sanjana, I was looking into applying to Aerospace University and I saw that they have an awesome study abroad experience in Ireland and it seems really, really cool. Can you tell me more about it?
Oh, Sandhya, I did that program and it kicked my butt. It was ridiculously difficult and I never even got to leave the country or travel a lot because I was so swamped with homework. I wouldn't really recommend it.
This scenario is bad because Sanjana only talks about her own incredibly biased experience with this program, when in fact others who attended it might have found it more enjoyable. Also, she only brings up the negatives, when she should also consider talking about some of the pros of this program. Let's try that again. Can you tell me more about the program?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I did participate in that program. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of hard work, but at the end of the summer, I did get to complete 4 of my core classes. I didn't get to travel a lot either during the program, so I decided to travel after it ended. So I personally don't think the program gave me the study abroad experience I expected, where I'd end up traveling a lot and my classes would not be as difficult as they are usually at school. But a lot of other students also attended the program and would probably disagree with me and enjoyed it a lot.
This scenario is a lot better because even though the pen pal is honest and mentions that she did not enjoy her experience so much in this program, she mentions that others did enjoy it a lot more. By doing so, she acknowledges her bias and doesn't just discourage her pen pal from participating in the program and attempts to show that there are multiple perspectives on the program.
2. You should never discourage your pals and only encourage. Scenario: is aerospace right for me? Sandhya, I'm really worried about how I'm currently doing in my AP Physics class. Does that mean that I'm not cut out for engineering?
Physics is the foundation of engineering. If you don't do well in high school physics, you're going to struggle a lot in your college engineering courses. You might want to just consider another career path.
This scenario is bad because Sandhya is discouraging Sanjana from engineering just because of some bad grades in high school. One high school class experience should not and does not influence Sanjana's success in her college career. Let's see how Sandhya can better approach this. Does this mean that I'm not cut out for engineering?
No, of course not, Sanjana. This is one class experience in your high school career. You're going to get so many more experiences in college courses and another chance as well. I know a lot of successful engineers who struggled a lot with physics in high school, but then retook it in college and did a lot better, just because they got to go through the material again and took advantage of tutoring, their professors' office hours, and other resources. Also, there are so many ways to get into the aerospace industry without being an aerospace engineer. There are a lot of computer science, policy, business, and students with so many other majors who still get prominent jobs in aerospace companies. So yeah, you can always retake physics in college, and if you don't find that you really enjoy it, then there are other ways you can still be in the aerospace industry if this is where you really, really want to be and your passions lie.
While this is a much longer answer, it encourages the student not to give up just because of one class, but also tells them about other options to be involved in the aerospace industry in the case that physics just is not their thing.
3. Allow your WoAA pal to decide the flow of the conversation. After your initial introduction, don't just talk about yourself unless the WoAA pal specifically asks you a question. Instead, try to get them to focus on themselves. Ask them questions about their interests. And don't just dominate the conversation in your response with your own interests. Scenario: the unintentional show-off. I'm on a robotics team and I'm really proud of myself because my design for a fixture on the robot's intake made it onto the final robot.
Nice job! I've gotten many designs onto the final product in high school and even in college. I know how you feel because every time I've gotten to design a major component, I feel really proud. Good job!
This comes across as boastful and making the WoAA pal feel incompetent. Let's see how Sanjana could respond better.
That's really awesome. I'm proud of you. You know, there are plenty more opportunities in college to continue your passion for robotics. If you want to know more about how you can get involved, let me know. 4. Take the initiative, even if your pen pal is initially unresponsive. In your initial introduction, be sure to be welcoming and happy to get to know them. Talk a little bit about yourself and ask questions about them and their interests. More importantly, how you can help them. If that leads to unresponsiveness, be patient in following up. Make sure to let them know that you're happy to support them in any way and that you can and would love to get to know them and their career goals. If after 3 attempts of reaching out to no avail, contact the WoAA Pals managers and we will intervene and try to give this opportunity to someone else who is more responsive.
Feel free to contact the WoAA Pals managers at the email woaapals@gmail.com. Don't forget that we also have an anonymous feedback form you can submit your concerns to at any point in the program that will be linked in every newsletter. Thanks for watching this training video. You can now take the quiz at the link we sent in the email along with the video. You need to complete the quiz with 90% of the answers correct before you can be paired with a WoAA Pal.